Question 13. The histogram gives information about the area of 285 farms. So here's the histogram. We've got frequency density and the area in hectares on the x-axis. So it says work out an estimate for the number of these farms with an area greater than 38 hectares. Well, first of all, first thing to remember about frequency density, histograms, is that the area represents the frequency. In this case, the areas represent the number of farms. Okay, so if we were, I'll shade it in green. All of these areas of the bars added together represent the total number of farms. In that case, it represents 285 farms. Okay, now it asks us to estimate how many farms there are that are greater than 38 hectares, which is here. Okay, I'll do that line a little bit thicker. 38 hectares is here. Okay, so if we work out the area, well, this purple area which I'm shading in, the 3 bars here, represents all the farms that are greater than 38 hectares, but we don't know how many that is exactly. Okay, so I'm going to find the proportion that's greater than 38 hectares. Now, if you carefully add up all of these squares in the purple, okay, you'll get 431 little squares. Yeah, and it's not that difficult because these centimeter squares are 5 by 5, so you know there's 25 in each centimeter square. Okay, now if you added all of these little squares, the whole thing, you would get 1,425 little squares in the whole thing. Okay, now 1,425 represents 285 farms. Okay, so if we did 431 over 1,425, that's actually about 30%. Okay, so 30% roughly are the farms that have an area greater than 38 hectares. Okay, so I'm going to call this about 30%. It's actually a little bit more than 30%. It's actually 0.302455614 if I type it into a calculator. So I want to find this proportion of 285 farms to give me the number of farms that are greater than 38 hectares. So to find a proportion of a number or a fraction of a number, you always times it. Okay, so if I just type that into a calculator, that gives me exactly 86.2 farms are greater than 38 hectares. Okay, so this is worth, question 13 is worth 3 marks. Let's have a quick look how you get those marks. So the first mark comes from trying to find and attempting to find the whole area of 1,425 squares. Okay, now you've got 5 bars here. Now, providing you've calculated these, at least 3 out of 5 of these bars correctly, then you'll get the first mark. Okay, for trying to find the total area. The second mark is a method mark here, finding a proportion and timesing it by 285 farms. Okay, and the third mark comes from an answer. Of 86 or 87. Okay, and that's it for 3 marks.